This game started as an inventory system for a completely different game. I'm a solo dev working on a roguelike in Godot, and at some point I feel like the game needed an inventory system, something like in Resident Evil 4 or in Dredge, where you would have items that you need to move around in a grid to make them fit. One day, while looking at the inventory system I had built, I thought maybe this could be its own game. So I just extracted it into its own project, made it colorful shapes instead of items, gave them eyes and emotions, and after 5 months, Dolly Blocks was ready to be released. So the first thing I needed to do was choose which platform to focus on, Android or iOS. To enter Google Play Developers Program, there is a one-time fee of $25. That's it, forever. Apple, on the other hand, charges $100 a year just to keep your game listed. Given that I had no intention of making money from this, that was a very easy decision for me. Also, Godot makes the Android export process pretty straightforward. Once you have installed the Android build template, setting up the permission and exporting the game is mostly just a few clicks. And even though I have an Android device, I did most of my testing through Android Studio's emulator. That way I could test across different screen sizes and Android versions, and be sure the game wasn't just working on my specific phone. But getting it on Google Play was not as simple as just uploading it. If you're a new developer, every game you submit has to go through a closed testing phase first, with 12 real people, testing it every single day for 14 days. I had no budget to hire testers, so I went on Reddit and found a community where developers test each other's apps. And after the testing phase was done, Google approved my game in 1 day. 1 day. I was expecting weeks. It wasn't all smooth though. There were stretches where the game would just crash. No warning, no clear error, just gone. Punch hole cameras were another one. Different phones had different sized punch holes, and I had to find a way to detect the size and shift the whole UI down so nothing got covered. But here's the thing about the game. I never intended to make money from it. The goal was to ship something real, to prove myself that I could actually finish a project. So ads are completely optional. I implemented my ads through AdMob, and used a plugin from the Godot asset library to integrate it, which made the whole setup much simpler than building it from scratch. But when you set up ads, you have to declare what audience you are targeting so Google knows what kind of ads to show. If you want the most profitable ads, you don't restrict the audience. But I also wanted the game to be safe for children. So I built an age selector that appears the first time you open the game. The player picks their birth year, and that tells AdMob which audience they belong to. And if they'd rather not say, they can just skip it. So how did it actually do? 47,500 downloads. I did run Google Ads producing images and video ads in multiple formats to try and drive installs. And my earnings are, drumroll, $32. But again, money was never the point of this game. The reception from the players was actually very nice. A lot of people mentioned the aesthetics, which, thank you. The little shapes were very hard for that. But the thing that mattered the most was how many people specifically praised that the ads were not aggressive. That's not something people usually feel the need to say about a mobile game. Sadly, because that's just not the norm. Not everyone had a great time though. Some players found the levels too difficult, so I might need to go back and revisit some of those. Luckily, I set up game analytics, so I can see exactly which levels get the most retries, and they have a free plan which was more than enough for me. They also have a Godot plugin which makes it very easy to integrate directly into the project. Once I started serving ads, asking for the player's birth year, and sending data to analytics, I needed to declare all of that when submitting updates. And Google takes this very seriously. They need to make sure that the ads are appropriate, that the age selector is neutral, and that the data for the analytics is being handled safely. So what started as a 1-day submission time ended up becoming 2-3 days maybe per update. It's been quite a ride, to be honest. The game has been out for a while now. Downloads are mostly flat, but the 50,000 milestone is close, and I'm already back working on my main game. If you're considering Godot for your mobile game, I can definitely recommend it from experience. The asset library has everything you need, and the community is incredibly helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. If you have any questions or doubts about any of these processes or steps, feel free to leave a comment below and I'll do my best to help.